It's a chaotic time in Dota. A lot of teams are changing players and shuffling around, but one team that hasn't shuffled at all is Nouns, and I'm here to talk to Gunnar. So, yeah, I mean, you guys come in through the shuffle period and you stick with the same roster. Can you tell me what your thought process is behind all that?
At TI, we had like a meeting that we all wanted to help each other at the worst and like make sure everyone got good opportunities, but we all liked playing with each other. So kind of our initial option was to play with each other. And then there were other options and people had decided different things, but we ended up all wanting to stick together. Like we all wanted the best for each other, honestly.
Yeah.
Like everyone on this team is very like wholesome and very friendly.
Yeah.
And I think we all actually care about each other a lot, wanting to make sure that everyone got a situation they're happy in and like a happy team and just everything good. And this is what ended up making everyone the happiest.
I'm guessing after TI, you've kind of got that feeling like your team hasn't really reached its full potential yet. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it's definitely very cool because this is the first time I've been with the exact same roster after TI. And it felt very nice in the scrims, honestly, like our boot camp for all the qualifiers. We went in and we're just like keep doing the same thing and we're improving and we're already on this like very stable platform that we built last year that we're still getting better. And it felt so nice to not have to kind of rebuild everything from zero with a bunch of new players.
Yeah, there was one change. Your coach Milan stepped away, haven't they? What's the kind of situation there? And are you looking to replace them or?
We're probably looking at a coach, but for now I think we're fine with the five of us. We have AA, who's like our manager, but he's also being an analyst.
Oh,
so he's kind of filling in the coach role. And he did actually this during the Elite League in Peru. Mm-hmm. And we did okay at it. We got top 6, so he's been a good coach. So for now, yeah, I think we're happy.
All right, options open. I like that mentality. So after the international, obviously you had some highs, you had some lows. What were those conversations like, after the dust had kind of settled? I
mean, the one we still joke about is that we all just kind of like hated playing versus BB team. They were the only team that 2'd us. But in all seriousness, it was mostly that we kind of showed the potential and that we're getting, one of the things that we were worst at throughout the whole last year was that we'd always have like one game or one series that we looked good and we'd look bad a lot of the time. And I would say, especially recently, that we're getting a lot better at being consistent. And I think even in TI, a lot of our series, like the only series that we looked really bad in were those series. But even like gaming, we had a close series. So it's a lot of just, I think, being just more consistent. Because I think if we play our best Dota, we're a very good team.
So coming into PGL Wallachia, do you feel confident that you're stuck together and you have that extra experience over some of the fresher teams? Or do you feel a bit of pressure to perform because you're staying with the same 5 people?
I would say it's probably a mixture of both. I know we had the qualifiers recently, and I think it was probably the first time we were rated first seed in NA in the qualifiers, and we all went in feeling really confident, but it was also, there was the air of, if we lost these, it would feel worse than losing any other qualifier before.
Yeah.
But at the same time, playing them felt very, we don't have to do anything special. We all know that we can win these, and we will if we play good. So like, we have to respect our opponents, like don't take anything away from them. They're also all very good players, but we just have to play our best. And so going into this, I would say we're pretty confident. I would say that there is pressure, but in probably a positive way, that we all feel like we have to play our best because that like we have the ability to do it.
Do you have any kind of expectations or goals coming into this?
Not really any expectations. I would say my goal would be at least top 3, but I want to say just win the whole thing, obviously.
Is there anything really interesting you've seen in a shuffle period, something you didn't expect, or what do you think is the most interesting shuffle?
I guess the biggest one that's out there and confirmed would be the 33 leaving Liquid, which I think from an outside perspective is very strange because they had just won TI. But I know, he wanted to play with Saxa, and like Liquid, it was the same situation where they all really like him, and it was kind of a mutual thing. So I think from an outside perspective, from a fans, it's very surprising, but I think it's like kind of good for all those parties. Like hopefully it makes all of them happy.
We have this other NA team coming called Apex Genesis. Obviously you've played against them a lot, so can you, give me your opinions? What are they like?
We didn't play them in any of the qualifiers recently.
Oh, that's impressive.
We didn't play them in Elite League and Lima. We played them, I believe, for TA qualifiers and RIA qualifiers, but it was a different roster. They didn't have Yamsen.
Yeah.
And that was the only 2 series I think we played versus them in a really long time. I don't know too much, but from the qualifiers, I think they actually looked pretty good. They were really close to taking out Shopify both qualifiers in the Bepim Datra and in the Dream League. There was honestly points where it looked like both series were going to be a 2-0. And so...
For Apex.
For Apex, yeah. And I think they can be a good team. It's always really hard, I think, for NA teams. Just, you have to play on ping. Either if you can't all boot camp, the Europeans have to play on ping to NA. And then whenever you play Europubs, you have to play on ping for the North Americans. And then even sometimes fighting scrims is harder for NA teams. Yeah. Because you don't have the same level of, I guess, respect internationally. Yeah. And so it's definitely a little challenging to grow for them.
All right. Gunnar, thank you very much, and best of luck here in Wallachia.
Thank you, thank you.